So we've already gone through a bunch of videos on how to make your application for college good. How do you choose a college? How do you figure out if you can pay for college through financial aid and other things? And so we're now at the point that hopefully you've gotten into a few of these colleges and you're in a position to decide where you want to go. And from my experience, I remember, as you learned from other videos, even when I was young, I had heard of this thing called MIT and I wanted to go there. But it was at the end of your senior year where you actually do have your options in front of you. And then the reality is, okay, I'm not just going to go to someplace because I heard of it or because I heard it's good for this or that. I should really feel like it's a place where I can live and thrive for 4 years. And so I encourage you to talk to other people who've graduated from that school. Learn what, not just what it's like academically, what's it like culturally, what's the campus like, what's the vibe like. I encourage, those brochures actually, sometimes you might say, oh, this is just marketing material from the university, and that's what they are. But they do tell you a lot about what they view themselves as, what their culture is. If you have the resources to, I didn't at the time, but if you can visit the school, especially if it's out of town, try to. If you don't have the resources, I hear there's now, there's oftentimes these fly-in programs where the school will provide resources for people to visit and make sure it's a good fit for them. I definitely, if I was in that position again, I would definitely have taken up the schools on that. And once you make that decision, figuring out the school where it's a good fit, where you feel like you're going to be able to spend at least the next 4 years, then it's time to transition. And I remember that a ton. On one level, it's kind of the most exciting moment in your life, and the scariest. I mean, there's a few other moments in your life that probably compete with it. When you're getting married, the birth of your first and actually second or third child as well. But yeah, these are all exciting moments, but this is one of them. And it's the first, you're getting real independence. With real independence comes all sorts of possibilities, some of which are scary, new responsibilities as well. And what I remember when I was kind of going through that transition, it was really helpful. I had an older sister. I remember right when I actually flew from New Orleans, which is where I grew up, to Providence, even though I was going to school in Boston, because my sister was at Brown University in Providence. And so I spent a little time living with her. And actually that was a really good way to kind of even ease into what's it like to be a young person living by myself? How do I do my own laundry? How do I how do I boil ramen? How do I do all this? What's a meal plan? And what? But then I went to campus orientation, and my sister told me this, and I tried to really live this when I went through orientation and the beginning of my freshman year. It was a chance to kind of be myself, but also redefine who I was. In high school, there's all these, hey, well, maybe I'm not in that crowd or I'm in that crowd. But in college, I went with a mindset, I think it was a very healthy mindset of like, look, everyone here is new. Everyone here is dying to make friends. I'm going to go out of my comfort zone, walk up to people, be nice to them, talk to them, smile at them, and build a friend circle, and talk to people that I might have been intimidated by, or that I might have not I know as much about or have as much in common with. And I think by the more I did that, the more it just made my college experience that much better. So we're kind of at the end of this how do you go to college thing, this how do you go to college journey. And it's a super exciting one. I envy a lot of you all for being in the position that you're in. It's a really neat time of your life. But on another level, we're kind of at just the beginning of your adventure. So hope you enjoyed this.